Yes. Thank you. Yep. All right. All right. I'm not super used to speaking through a mic, so if I shout and scream really loud, please forgive me. Yeah, self-proclaimed confetti enthusiast. You will find out what that means in a second. Um, Indeed, I'm Tom. I'm a senior visual designer. Actually, recently I work here at Dept, mainly in the Amsterdam office. I heard some pro-Rotterdam proclamations earlier today, which sound like Amsterdam slander to me. So just saying Amsterdam might be a little bit better, but that I'll leave that up to you. So hey there, Creative Mornings. Love the energizer just now. I do. It feels really nice. Feel a lot of energy. I also learned some new things that I shouldn't say. I'm mucho caliente in Spanish. So I guess that's good. Before I jump into the talk, I need a little bit of help from two people in the crowd. I have two confetti cannons. Probably the first two rows are the best for this. Who wants to help me during my little talk? One more. Anybody on this side? There you go. All right. My life is now officially in your hands. There will be two moments throughout this presentation. Don't let it off just yet. There will be two moments. I will signal to each and every one of you which moment it will be. You will know when it comes up. And that's the moment that I need your help, and I desperately need you to let the thing pop. You should hold it the other way around. Other way around. There you go. Don't pop it on yourself. Please double check. Is the bottom? You see the arrow? Cool. You got it. I don't want you to get hurt. Cool. Okay. It's coming up. Okay, we already skipped through this part. I'm a visual designer at Dept. I'm at this moment mainly work as one of the lead designers for the digital experience of smart.com, the lovely, they used to be little, they're not so little anymore, cars. And we make, with the whole team, we make some really pretty stuff like this, which includes a lot of car imagery. That I love very much. And even though I really enjoy what I do and I really enjoy making all these beautiful things, I think all creatives underneath each other, we can all, I think, relate to the feeling where you just get a little bit overwhelmed by all the work. You try to do all the nice visual work, but you also have this Jira ticket to answer and then an update to give there. And then somebody's requesting something there, and it just starts to kind of pile up in your head, and you start to get a little bit overwhelmed. And then what you really, really want to do is at some point, you just get overwhelmed, and then you want to actually have a confetti cone that you let off with a bang. Ooh, that's nice. And this idea of a confetti cannon that you let pop during your work, it's not just grabbed out of thin air, but it's actually based on something. Because what research shows is that jokes and fun activities place a significant cognitive demand on your working memory. So when your head starts feeling like this and you do that, you have a little bit of fun, you make a little bit of a joke, it kind of works as a blocker of everything that was going on in your head. And then it clears your head afterwards. And you can go back into your work, back into your creative space with a clear mind, or at least that's the intention behind it. So that's what I'm here to talk about today, how to add confetti, add a little bit of spice, so to say, to your everyday work when your head starts feeling overwhelmed, and how to load up your own personal confetti cannon and then, of course, let it off with a bang. There's three things that I want to talk about concerning confetti. As I said, self-proclaimed confetti enthusiast. I can talk for hours about the characteristics of confetti, and I will do so a little bit more. And the first thing is that it should be without purpose. The second thing is that confetti should always be temporary. And the last thing is that confetti should work to connect people and not to drive a wedge between people. To dive into the first thing, it should be without purpose. I mean, it is super fun that we just did that, but it's literally nothing, or it's literally a little bit of bits and pieces of paper, but it doesn't do anything for us. But still, it felt kind of fun. It made a little bit of a banging sound, nice shiny things going down. So we still had a little bit of fun with it. But the beauty of a nice confetti moment is that it does nothing. It does nothing for you. You're not reaching a goal. You're not trying to meet the deadline. You're not trying to solve a problem for somebody. you're doing absolutely nothing, and you're only doing it because it's fun to do nothing sometimes. One of my favorite examples, this is unfortunately it's not live anymore, but I really love Easter eggs on the internet. On a earlier version of the Vogue, British Vogue website, if you hit in this super long keyboard combination, which is called Konami code, it's something that comes from gaming. If you hit this combination, a little raptor would show up on your screen with a nice little British hat. If you do it again, another raptor in a nice little suit. And if you do it then, keep on doing it, you get this whole army of raptors that show up. Does it do anything for you? No. Was it fun? I find it kind of fun. Another one that I like to make stupid gifts for people. So these are gifts that I made and I got from one of my interns that I guided. So she actually made this necklace for me saying "Buddy for Life," and I spent way too much time designing these socks for her with our heads on it. And just recently I made this kind of super cool Avengers Assemble type poster for my boxing coach to thank him. Again, spent quite a bit of time on it. You could say there is a bit of purpose in making him happy, but it was mostly because it's also just simply fun to do. So yeah, your first rule of your confetti is that it should be about nothing. You should not aim to try and do something, but try and do nothing, because that also opens up the space where you are allowed to have fun. The second thing that you need in order to be able to have that fun is the confetti needs to be temporary. It lasted for a little moment and now it's dwindled down and it's over. And you also know it will be over in a little while after you've done it. So you know you're not constantly looking at confetti going down. Same with like seeking a little bit of distraction during your work. If you know that it's just gonna last for a moment, and that it will be over and after that it's done, that also opens up that space to just do whatever, because you know it doesn't have to do anything, and you know that it will be over in a bit anyways, and you can get back to your work and your deadlines. This is a screen recording from one of my colleagues who implemented this shortcut into his laptop, where he can just press E, and then some confetti blows up into the screen. Again, doesn't do anything. It's gone in a second, but it is kind of fun. I actually heard from another colleague that he recently did something like this as well, based on this talk. So if you take away one thing, install this in your computer. It's really fun during presentations as well. And we actually used to do this from depth as well in the projects that we delivered, where we often did a confetti moment in like a checkout or at the end of a journey. Just put some literal confetti into the journey to have a bit of fun with a user. Another example of this, for me as a designer, I'm of course always doing work. I like to make what I call kind of bullshit versions of my design. Or I like to use these called fuck-ups to show my design in the context where it's actually going to be used. And then have a bit of fun with sharing this. Of course, don't share this with clients. They might not always appreciate it. Or sometimes make some honest versions. I was working on this dashboard the other day, and I realized that there's like 3 pay buttons down here. So it was like, okay, actually this one should say something like this. Then do remember to hit delete after. I actually left this one into the project file, and then I was sitting with, I think, the brand manager from this specific client, and I was like, oh fuck, and I brushed over it, and he saw it and he could laugh about it, but he did say to me, there are some people within this company who wouldn't find this funny, so please, that's again, keeping it temporary. Feel free to just delete stuff after you've done that little confetti moment. The goal is not to make something that lasts. The goal is just to have a little bit of fun, and again, to fill up that space in your mind to then reset it afterwards. Then the third thing, and this one is really, really important. It's kind of the idea of not laughing at somebody, but laughing with somebody. Having fun is really nice, but please always ensure that you're not making fun of others and that you're not harming others while you are having fun. There's a fine line between laughing with or laughing at people. And again, if you do this correctly, then there is kind of this effect again of again proven from research. When two people play or laugh together, there is an unspoken communication between them that says, I share your values. I am moved by the same things that move you. You and I are alike in some way. So a lot of these things, like that dashboard that I showed you, and putting your design into a mock-up on the toilet, it's all to drive laughter within the team. You share it with your teammates. You have a bit of fun together. You don't do a confetti moment just by yourself, but you share it with the rest of your team members. I mean, we certainly had a bit of fun when we let this confetti cannon pop off, and we kind of created a little bit more of a connection than we had before that. And I'm sure that we'll have one more when that one goes off in a little bit. Yeah. Keep a close eye. So yeah, it's there to connect people together. And the last thing that I want to show you is my favorite example of this. This talk originated in Corona times. Oh no, sorry, I have one more. This is also one that I really love. These are 3 colleagues of mine, all from the dev team here. Some really good designers and copywriters, and they had an internal presentation about a client where they did the work for. And then as part of that internal presentation, the guy on the left, he is very big on AI tools and using Midjourney. So they kind of morphed together into kind of a combined version of the 3, and they filled the entire information, the entire presentation with images of them morphed together. It was really fun. It got a bit weird. They kind of created this family out of the 3 of them. It had nothing to do with the presentation itself, but it did produce a lot of laughs beforehand. It got a little bit weird when they started adding legs into the picture. So that was a bit funky. Again, no purpose. It didn't last for a while. They threw it away, but I recycled it for this presentation. But temporary stuff, and it used to, well, they're literally combining themselves. The last example that I want to give is my personal favorite. This was a thing that came up during the whole pandemic period, when people were really struggling to find confetti moments and figure out the shit that is just fun. And it's inviting a goat to Zoom. And I'm not talking about the goat, but a literal goat. This is an actual website. I checked it. It's still live on the crockshawfoldfarm.co.uk goats on Zoom. And you have this range of goats that you can select. Elizabeth, for instance. But you can also invite a goat with a note. And then they write a nice message on that goat, on the note, and then it's eco-friendly paper that they can eat. So of course, I went into a meeting. I invited 2 of my colleagues. I didn't tell them what was going on. And we had look at the guy. Oh, he gets a little last bit. We had a little goat with a note. Does it serve a purpose? No, but at least we had a bit of fun. And at least if they are not laughing, I'm at least having fun in that meeting. So yeah, that's it. What I hope that you can take away from this meeting, it might take a moment. Like I have a clear idea in my head on what it takes to kind of load up my confetti cannon and what I should do and what I find fun and how I should manage that. That's different for everybody. These are some examples that I find really funny and that I like to do. Like I like to make bullshit versions of my designs. It can be different for everybody. But what I would want to encourage you is to try and find some moments in between the work when your head starts to fill and you get more and more and more on your plate, and you really start to feel like I need a little bit of a distraction. That you load up your confetti cannon and that you let it off with a bang. Woo! Oh, nice. Well, thank you guys, and let me know if there's any questions.